The ability to observe the thoughts that arise in your mind is the starting point for controlling it. What does it give you to observe your own thoughts? You start to become aware that they exist. What really matters is how a particular thought affects you and what you do with it. As long as the thought you are observing does not evoke any emotional reactions in you, you can think something like, there's a thought, okay. It doesn't affect me in any way. I'm completely relaxed. The problem begins when you start to notice a thought that triggers emotional reactions in you. Let's take, for example, the thought, I am unimportant. Such a thought will evoke a series of negative emotions in you, but for simplicity, we will generally assume that you start to feel hopeless, which in turn will lead you to various behaviors. You can withdraw, become indifferent to everything, or a self-sabotage program may activate within you. There are many combinations, and all of this happens automatically. What you need to understand now is that you are not your own mind. The problem is not that your mind generates thoughts. The problem is that you believe in what you hear, that you treat what you hear as the truth about yourself, that you identify with your own mind and the unhealthy thoughts it generates. The mind generates thoughts, but who hears them? If you can observe your own thoughts, you do so from the position of an observer, not from the level of the mind. In other words, I, the observer, watch what is happening in my mind. And now ask yourself the question, who is greater, you, the observer, or your mind? As long as you believe that your mind has a greater influence on you than you, the observer, have on it, you will not be able to control it. He will control you because you have given him power. Moreover, the mind constantly deceives you for various reasons. Now imagine that you are talking to someone and you know that this person is lying. Almost immediately you are able to acknowledge that you do not believe them. In the same way, you can approach the thoughts that arise in your mind. Since it is not you who generates thoughts, but your mind, and since your mind deceives you, you are able to respond to the thought, I am unimportant, with something like, I no longer believe you. You want to keep me here for some reason, but that thought limits me, so I no longer believe you. You can also use sharper language depending on your communication style, but that is up to you. I know that at first it may seem difficult because learning to distance yourself from your own mind takes practice. So if at this stage you don't feel capable of treating your mind this way, start by asking yourself questions like, does this thought serve me or not? So how can I think differently? I can think to myself that I am important. Even if I am insignificant to the whole world today, I want to be important to myself, and the energy begins to change almost automatically. The mind is just a collection of thoughts which often do not serve you, but ultimately it is you who chooses what you really want to believe, and you always have a choice.